The feeling I get from listening to your music is that you're writing for me.
Well, actually, I'm writing for me, and I'm hoping it's working for you. I wrote to medicate myself on some level, and also to sort out my, my own place in the world.
Well, you medicated yourself. Are you better? Have you sorted your place out in the world?
No, not completely.
It's raining, but there ain't a cloud in the sky. Must have been a tear from your eye.
If the audience feels one with Bruce, then on stage, Bruce definitely feels one with them. Tens of thousands of them.
I thought I felt the sweet summer breeze. Must have been your science to deep.
Your performances, they're incredible to watch. 30,000, 60,000. Is it like preparing to run a marathon? Is it...
No, it's sort of you get nervous. That never changes.
Still?
Oh yeah. Before you go on, you're just thinking, "Whoa, I don't know. I think I want to go home. I think maybe I'm gonna go back to the hotel, watch some television." But then when you get out there, you get the pure enjoyment and excitement of it washes through you, and you go, "Oh man, this is just great." I think in the end, the way it feels at the end of the night for you is the way it feels at the end of the night for me.
But it must be in a multiple of 30, 40, 50,000 for you. They're all focused on you.
Yeah, that can make you a little hard to live with. Isn't that 30,000 people chanting my name? It's like...
Sometimes the truth just ain't enough. It's too much at times like this.
Alongside him on stage is Bruce's wife Patty, together with every single member of the original E Street Band. After 15 years apart, the band's reunion tour is one of those genuine, historic moments in rock and roll.
The other thing I'm very proud about is the fact that my band they're all alive and well. There's not many guys that have been around as long as we were. If you look at all the other bands, not many bands are getting up there with all their original guys. That puts you in a good mood. That's what we work for and you work for, and so.
So what thrills you most about being back?
Let me finish.
Oh, you are the boss.
But we're having a good year. Anyway, go ahead.
What thrills you most about being back?
The most fun is always playing,
Share a little of that human touch. Feel a little of that human touch in you.
This is a room where I'll rehearse usually before I go out on the road or something.
It's here in this farmhouse, his workhouse, that Bruce composes and records many of his songs.
In here too, generally I like to just throw the stuff in the house rather than have an actual studio with a baffleting. I like the way it feels recording in a living space, where people have lived and it's got some life in it.
And a little of that human touch. Just a little of that human touch.
Is this a retreat for you?
Yeah, it's 10 minutes from where I grew up. Freehold's about 6 miles that way, and the beach is about 8 miles that way. So it's just it's quiet, it's good. A nice place to get away from things.
This part of New Jersey is full of Springsteen memories. It's where he had his first kiss, his first job, his first heartbreak, and it's all in his song. When he was a boy, Asbury Park was the jewel of the Jersey Shore. Its music club, the Stone Pony, drew famous acts from Manhattan and once took a chance with an unknown local talent.
Do you still stick your head into the Stone Pony?
Oh, yeah, sure. I go down there and play on occasion, It's the same. I mean, if you go inside, if you take down all the pictures that are of me in there now, without those pictures, it's the same.
Fame arrived in 1975 when Bruce released his album Born to Run. A decade later, the superstar turned megastar when Born in the USA sold more than 15 million copies.
I've read that fame and your celebrity actually haunts you. You're uneasy about it.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, you're supposed to be. I mean, I believe that my opinion about that is you should be. You know, you should be uneasy with it.
Have you ever strayed and got a little narcissistic, the ego's got a little bit out of control?
Of course. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't get up and, shake your butt in front of 30,000 people without, the ego and for the ego gratification and the narcissism, and it's always an exercise of that at some point, It's not that that's just part of being human.
I was bruised and battered, I couldn't tell what I felt. I was
In 1994, with 10 albums to his name, he had another top 10 hit when Streets of Philadelphia won an Academy Award.
Brother, you're gonna leave me wasting away on the streets of Philadelphia.
But through it all, his heart and soul were never far from New Jersey.
There's this idea that you're going to forget who you were, people say. I've never met anybody who forgot who they were. I've met people who run from who they were or from who they are, but I've never met anybody who forgot, Those are things, that first 20 years of your life, there's nobody forgetting those. That first 10 years, people aren't forgetting those. They may decide to run from it, but you're not going to forget it. For me, I found that when I went to write and work, I constantly used my whole life, from when I was a kid to now.
The storyteller, the man who feels and delves into how America's feeling. How did you feel on September 11?
I don't know, I guess the bet, I really can't sit here and explain it at this point. I think that my record is the best. It's the best sort of. I think I put all of what I was thinking about into that particular record.
On it is morning, the evening falls. I got too much room in my bed, too many phone calls. How's everything?
That record was The Rising, his reunion in the studio with the E Street Band. It's the story of his neighbours, the firefighters and police who never came home on September 11. And what stories there are to tell. Bruce's corner of New Jersey, Monmouth County, lost more people than anywhere else in the state, 158.
It was a particular time when people, I think, were looking to hold on to something that maybe they had some familiarity with, voices and faces, and it was, but I wasn't really thinking about that at all. Really, I mainly it was pretty instinctive, And then I thought I just had to try to write as thoughtfully as I could. That was my main concern over the next few months was checking each song and trying to get it as right as I could and write as and think about it as deeply as I could, and hopefully that'd come forth on the record,
The last time the boss and the band were in a recording studio, Bruce and Patty's 3 children were toddlers. This time around, the kids are taking a far keener interest in what Dad and Mum do for a living.
But they were very, very young when last time I played with the band. They'd never seen me, of course, play with the E Street Band. So one night I came in and I had this video of Born to Run that's on our video compilation. I put it on and I play this thing, and they're like, it was so funny. They're watching it, and the only thing my oldest son, I remember my oldest son said, "Well, Dad, why did you stop doing that?"
At 53, Bruce is once again happily singing along to his hit songs on the radio. Then, with his sort of fame and fortune, the band are ready to Not to mention a frame blokes half his age would kill for. It's no wonder the legend's loving it all.
There's no place else I'd rather be, you know, I know that.
Do you have another 20 years left in you, you and the E Street Band?
Who knows, you know, I don't know. Who knows how far it goes these
That'll be,
days.
what, 73 for you?
Oh, that sounds like it's pushing it, but we'll see when the time comes, I guess.